Tuesday. So grateful to be here with you, Lourdes.
I'm so grateful to be here with you. Amazing, everything that you say and all the wisdom that you impart. But it's the way that you read the tarot. I was, very drawn to, because it's about going back to yourself, going
Yes.
back to awakening into yourself, and I resonate with that because I feel that all these tools that we use, numerology, astrology, tarot,
Absolutely.
and so many more. It's not, it's been used incorrectly, I feel like, for the wrong purposes, just to feed more ego. And I love the fact that people like you, I see, are using it just to really as a tool to really go back to who you really are. And so tell us a little bit about, how do you like numerology? Because even though that you're an amazing tarot reader, um, and you have so much wisdom, I can just see it everywhere. I love your energy. I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about how you got, first of all, into the tarot, and then hence how to use the numerology. How do you use it?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say, I believe I was born into numerology because my birthday is 7/22. And so 22 just automatically became my favorite number. And because it is that double energy of two and that coming together and a partnership and all of that, it just really brought I just always loved 22. And so many things that I do in my life are set on number 22. And like every month I celebrate, oh, it's the 22nd, because I know it's a high vibration. And again, it's a master builder number. And because of that energy, everybody gets to celebrate it. And also I was born on a partial solar eclipse. So I'm also on that cusp, Cancer,
Amazing.
Leo also. And so 7 and 22 have been my numbers, and I go to them very often. And so it's just always been. And then Cancer is number 4, and so it just keeps going,
It just keeps popping up everywhere.
Yeah,
and by the way, we're in a month 4.
Exactly.
There's a lot. This is the best time, I think, that we can have having this conversation, because this week is pretty intense.
Powerful. Yeah,
very powerful.
Yeah, it is.
It's intense. So I really enjoy the fact that you say, you have all these symbolisms around in your life, right? At the time that you were born, when you were born, the number 22. It's interesting because we live in nature and we live in this world of form, which everything can be reduced down to a number. It's frequencies, it's vibration, it's patterns, it's cycles. And it's amazing how you said, because I did your numerology. I asked your birthday.
Okay.
Because the numerology that I practice is a little different.
Awesome.
I really like this one. I've studied most of them, like, the basics. There's different, for the people who don't know, there's different types of numerology. There are different methods, if you will. There's the Pythagorean, the Kabbalistic, the traditional. There's a cosmic one. The one that I was taught, this one is called interdimensional numerology. And I feel it's very simple. It's very practical. You can do something and like the chart really quickly, and you can really say a lot without having to go into the endless calculations of the patterns and which you can also do because you want to see, how your life flows. But with little information such as your birthday, I use the birth date mostly. And then I do the chart. So that's the numerology that I practice. I also add here and there. I make it my own, of course. But I did your numerology because I felt such a connection that I wanted to see what was there. And lo and behold, in the numerology chart that I do, there's a past life connection.
Oh, yeah.
We have the same mission number, which is how this is, instead of the life path number, we use mission number. And then we use the challenge. And then you have the gift, your gift from source or God. I say God. whatever you like to call it. And then down it's the life. It's your past life, and then your essence and personality. It's basically a little bit more like the typical numerology, but it's just the names change a bit because it delves a little bit more into your essence and what you're here for and what you come here to do and what's your purpose and what's your soul's evolutionary process. Um, so like I said, it's super interesting because we have literally the same gift, past life, challenge, and mission number.
Wow. So we were meant to meet, huh? Isn't that interesting? There are never any accidents. This I absolutely know. So I can't wait for you to tell me all this good stuff, sister. Like,
I
really,
love it.
I love this stuff since I was a little girl. And that's why I love tarot. You asked me about tarot. And the reason I love tarot is because they are 22 cards, depending on if it goes from 0 to 21 or it's 1 to 22. And in Kabbalah, like you said, Kabbalistic, where, they say it was connections to Egypt or connections to Kabbalah, it's really connections to Egypt. And again, each of the numbers were reminding us of different, archetypes. And then the different experiences. Are we at the beginning of this stage or are we at the end? And so tarot blends in numerology, astrology, and all the esoteric wisdom as well. And so, yeah, I really love that you blend all the things that I love. It really does, really resonate and all of it with numerology. So thank you.
So no, of course, and thank you because it is very refreshing to have somebody that uses their wisdom in such a way of connecting the dots of not just focusing on just one practice. I call them practices because they all they all help us practice our truth because we forgot. So and it kind of takes practice. We're all ready to condition and program to just be what we're not. And then that we need to kind of program ourselves to get comfortable with being who we really are. And so these tools help us practice. It's like going to the gym and you use your weights and whatever, to get fit. And these are our tools so we can get spiritually fit. And then the fact that numerology, for example, in my case, out of all the esoteric wisdoms, tarot is the least one. I mean, I've seen it, of course, and I've been read, but it's the least one that I know of.
No worries.
No
worries.
I mean, I kind of get it here and there, because of the frequency that I've done it. So I start to remember, okay, the high priest is the thing, the whatever, I get it, but I really have no idea.
No worries. I saw that, Danny. I saw that 22 viewers.
What?
It was just 22 viewers, and she posted that there was 22 viewers. I saw that. Oh my gosh! When the number 22 is
everywhere, and I love it. And it's interesting because we did begin this week, as you posted, which I loved. With the Monday was a 22-day vibrational day.
Yes.
And it's amazing how things kind of connect with vibrations and energies, and the numbers are basically a symbol. Of what's going on, really. And for example, when you posted that it was a detox, the perfect moment to do detox, I began a detox yesterday. It's so funny. No, but you were right. And yet it was like, wow, we're really connected. This is so good. And this is so why do we do this? So I want you to tell me in your own words, what is the purpose of all this? Because one of the things that I've noticed is that people tend to use it sort of like entertainment.
Yes.
And then it stays there.
Yeah, because people don't apply it. They want it to do something for them. They don't want it to do anything with it. They want it to do something for them. There's a difference, and because we're such a give me society, where numerology and tarot and being intuitive and psychic, what it says is listen. And we're so distracted looking at everything else, we won't allow ourselves to listen. And once we listen, then we can apply what we've heard. The thing is, we don't trust ourselves. We're distracted. We're, procrastinate. So all these different practices, again, just lend us muscle, like you said, and getting connected at a deeper level. All of these are tools to awaken us, to allow us to see, oh, this is how that flows, and this is how that flows. There is a flow. You know, I listen to binaural beats. You know, I love binaural beats, again, which is numbers and sonic waves, because our minds, our brains actually are activated by these waves at certain frequencies. And a frequency is a number. And again, you know, the ancient Egyptians, most people don't know that the pyramids were actually covered in crystal.
Yeah.
If you think about it, when they show those rocks, they're usually, what they turn out to be is quartz. The reason they use quartz crystal was, again, to amplify the energy. And they could make music and sound waves that would amplify it out, again, to calm the mind. The Egyptians, again, they didn't look at TV and newspapers and magazines and this family and this drama and this war. They looked at the skies. They looked at the stars. They looked at the moon. They studied the sun. They didn't look at each other and themselves. They looked out there to see what was more to be discovered. And that is where we miss the mark. And so these are the tools that we can use to look at ourselves, thus for then learn to listen more intuitively to our higher self, God, spirit, universe, source, light, you know, mother, father, whatever you want to call it. And so that's what it's really all about, because each of us, like you said, tarot's not your thing. But for me, tarot is psychology and numbers and Kabbalah and you know, all that mixed up into one. But then I also, you know, I have my crystal ball, and I have you know, I have my crystals and my magic wand, you know, but they're all just tools.
Of course. They're just tools to help us, get us into a state of mind, to calm our mind, our chatter mind, our monkey mind, you know, in order for us to access those deeper levels, which this limited mindset, the constant chatter, the things that keep us distracted, you know, it doesn't allow us to kind of sink in. It's like you said, like, take a moment and listen. We don't listen. You know, we're so bombarded with so much noise, distraction coming from your head and also around. Remember that people have forgotten, I feel like.
Oh, yes.
To feel what it's like to just sit still and be with yourself. Most people can't do it.
No, they can't. No, they can't. It's one of the hardest things.
It's so hard. Just be by yourself. Look at the tree. Look at the grass. Be present. It's extremely, extremely hard in this world that we live in. That is why I feel like these tools are more needed than ever.
Absolutely.
And it's our survival. We're like in a die. It's like either evolve or die.
Yeah. And that's why when we see these numbers, we know, oh, it's a sign. It's a sign. Listen. Don't look. Don't look for the sign. Listen to if you're seeing a number flash before you, you're saying it's a sign. Then listen for the message. Don't look for the message. Yes. Listen for the message and hear. Yes. Don't go, because it's not ever going to be out there. The message is always going to get in here and in here. Yeah, for sure. And so that's what it truly means. When you see a flash of number, it means something. The number means something, but it means to listen. I call it tune in, turn on. That's what it truly means, to tune in and turn on. Because in that second, you can get so much. You can really get so much.
Exactly. And it's interesting that you say that, because I get a lot of questions. This specific question about,
of course,
what I say, 111, 222, 333. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? You know, and what I see, the common denominator in this question that everybody asks, I say exactly that. Well, what does it mean to you? Like, take a pause. Take the time to see what's going on in your life. What are you feeling? What's this? How are you feeling right now? What are the circumstances in your life? They're telling you something.
Absolutely.
So we don't pay attention. Something's going on. Well, and then start connecting the dots. This when this is going on in my life, these numbers appear. When this is going on in my life, these numbers appear. And yes, of course, there's like a generalization of these numbers popping up. Usually, with, for example, 555 means change. 333 means like optimism and creativity. Yes, these are generalizations. I don't like to define them because it's like you said, it's so important for me, so people to take the time and find the answers within themselves because they're there. I mean, if we go back to quantum physics, which is something that I also use in my readings, I love it. We're always projecting. We're projectors of a hologram, of a movie. So what we see is not reality. It's only a projection of our mind. Actually, matter doesn't exist. It's only waves. And the moment that an observer observes the perceived object, that's how it appears. And so based on that, if these numbers continue appearing, you're telling yourself these messages.
Yes.
You're the one who's projecting these symbols because they're gonna create like a pause. You're gonna pay attention. It takes you out of the rat race of the do I have to do this or the machine. I call it the machine.
Yes.
Or machines, robots, robot mode, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these numbers, and automatically you forget what you were thinking, doing anything. You're like, oh, 1111. Oh my goodness! In that second, there's a break in the programming.
Yes.
So it's an opportunity for us to pause and take advantage of it. Because it is difficult in this world that we live in to really find the silence amidst the noise. It's too distracting. Look at Instagram, Facebook, this, that, Snapchat, movies, television, the news cycle 24/7. It's incredibly insane. It's insanity.
It is. When I last was in the United States, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's TVs in the bathrooms now. There's TVs at the gas station to pump your gas now.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's
so
TVs
true.
at the checkout to get, at the grocery store. I was like, damn. I mean, do you have to be watching TV all the time now? Like there's TVs on the streets. There's TVs everywhere because they want you distracted. So you don't look at yourself. Like I said, the ancient Egyptians looked up. They didn't look out. When we allow ourselves to look up, that's what ascension is. But we get so caught up in wanting stuff and money and cars and clothes. None of that is going to matter if the world evaporates. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? You can have all these fancy, expensive shoes, but what does it mean? Do you know what I'm saying? It means nothing. And so we've got to get over ourselves and our stuff and really get back to the simplest part of life. Because not only are we killing ourselves, we're killing Mother Nature.
Well, it's a reflection of how we treat ourselves.
It is, exactly. And so all of this war and all of this anger has to be healed. And numerology, astrology, eating healthy, all these different aspects of who we are and what we do out there in the world and in ourselves is key now. We can see that we can create monsters or we can create miracles.
Right.
We can create a mess or we can create perfection. And so if we start with ourselves, recognizing that we are divine beings of light that can make mistakes, that can learn and course correct, instead of thinking that we're all supposed to be perfect, because I don't know what perfect is. Even, these beautiful flowers. I love my flower, aromatherapy
gorgeous.
too. I love that. My flower therapy too, right? There's imperfection in there. We might not see it, but the florist might see it, or somebody else might see it and say, oh, that lily's got some illness, and I might say, oh, I would never know this lily has some type of illness because all I see is the beauty.
The beauty. Exactly.
Right? But what we want to see is each other's faults, and we want to see, oh, how can I get over on this person? And so when we allow ourselves to look at things, numerology, astrology, tarot, all these esoteric tools, listen to our ancestors for their wisdom so we don't make mistakes that they made, and we, again, course correct ourselves forward, we will then understand what we're here for. This is the age, again, numerology, 2020 is coming, baby. 2020 is coming. Yes, the age of Aquarius. It's about to bring it. This is why we are healing, because it's coming. It's coming.
And you know, I wanted to talk about that. It's funny that you brought it up, because exactly my point. These past few years have been tough for most, because we have been, it's been a cleansing process. You cannot move forward carrying the stuff that doesn't belong anymore. You can't. It's impossible, because the time,
you're dragging it. You're dragging it. We're dragging racism. We're dragging white supremacy. We're just dragging this stuff. We must heal it. We gotta heal it. I'm done talking about it. Let's heal it. Let's heal it in ourselves so we can heal it out there.
Absolutely. And this week, especially this week, which is interesting, there's the full moon in Scorpio.
Yes.
Excuse me. Why do I say it like that? Well, there's nothing wrong with Scorpios. Scorpios are
passionate.
Well, I am a Scorpio.
Yeah.
We're passionate
and fire.
But also I used to reject my sign a lot because of the stigma and the taboo. And I've learned how to embrace its power, because when I need to really let something go, I really tap into that transformational energy, that death and rebirth. And it helps me move on and completely renew myself. And that's what's going to happen this week for everybody. A lot of people are, this is the week's vibration is a number 9. And as you may know, a number 9 is the last number, right? Is the number of truth. It's an incredibly sacred number, because when you multiply the numbers, the addition, it always, the product of the multiplication of these numbers always goes back to 9. So when you add it, and that's why it's called, like, it's the number of truth. It's the self-realization number. It's self-mastery. You have conquered all the lessons of all the numbers previously, and then you are here, and then because it's a self-realization number, there's a change. It's the last one after the new cycle begins. And so but in order for you to begin the new cycle, you need to really understand, not even understand, it's more kind of like accept the being complete. It's complete. Accept, radical acceptance. Not seeing things how we want them to look, but for how they are and how we're presented, without judgment, complete and absolute discernment, and then make a choice as to, you want to keep on the same old, or do you want to evolve and grow? And so that's the vibration of the whole week. And it's especially important because it comes from a compound number, 18. In the numerology that I practice, the number 18 is actually a number. It's a tough one. It's a number to work, one of those working numbers. Why? Number 18 means that things are going to happen, like catastrophes, fires, Notre Dame. The Notre Dame. When that happened, I was like, something was going to happen. It revolved, tsunamis, earthquakes, natural disasters, things, big things that completely change everything. And it usually comes from something outside of ourselves. Like, for example, like it can be like a revolution, but it's mostly like fires, air, wind, water, in a way of a disaster. And then that allows us to have to move. Because of it. We have to move because of it. And so, for example, I'm from Puerto Rico, and it's interesting because I was doing my, for example, my brother's chart, and he has an 18. And he was in Puerto Rico when the big Hurricane Maria came. And what happened? And I had never seen that. He's my brother, but I had never seen that he had an 18 in his chart. And I was like, when Maria happened, what happened? Maria swept the entire island, and then he had to move away. And so that's exactly what's going to happen. That's the energy of the entire week. So what does that mean? We also have a full moon in Scorpio. So it means that being a number 9 week, okay, coming from 18, it means that things are going to be shaken up.
Yes.
Things are going to move. Things are going to come out because because it's the full moon in Scorpio, it's going to be what we don't want to see is going to be put on the spotlight.
That's
it's going to
it.
come. It's
That's
there.
Right. It's
and
time.
It's here. And it's time to see it. There's no turning back. Either you see it or you see it. When we open our eyes, we cannot unsee. When we start seeing, we cannot unsee. Even though we resisted, we kind of don't want to see it. That's why I think that the thing for this week is radical acceptance.
Yes.
See it. It's there.
See it.
And let it go. The moment that you accept it, it loses the power that it once had, and you can release it so you can begin the new cycle again for the new moon. And also there's another number this week. I have my little chart here with the numbers. It's the 11. Okay. The 11 number. There's a few numbers important this week. The 22 that was yesterday. The 22, like you said, is, they're virtual dismantlers.
Yes.
They're going to dismantle what doesn't work in order to create the new, because 2 + 2 is 4. So it's the 4 creating structure, creating a foundation, execution, working towards something bigger than ourselves. And the 4, the way that I practice it, is a very Aquarian number. It's very mental. However, it also expands its consciousness and mind because it's connected to its instincts, to the higher self, into the wisdom. I usually use 4, 22 with, for example, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein. You listen to the quote, or you hear or you read the quotes of Albert Einstein, and they're very spiritual.
Yes, all of them.
And it's Tesla as well.
Absolutely.
And Tesla was a lover of numbers, obviously. They said that they don't unlock the mysteries of the world, of the universe. And they do, really. We just have to pay attention and look at it. Another thing that is coming up this week that is interesting, because I'm giving you these kind of numbers so we can start piecing the things together. And then, for example, we said that the full moon in Scorpio is going to be this Wednesday, which is also super symbolic. Wednesday is, right?
No, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. I was like, Wednesday?
No, it's Friday on Good Friday. Yeah, no, it's
on Good Friday.
Yeah, so it's got some power behind it too.
Yes. So all this is coming up because next week we begin the week with the number 11.
And 22.
And 22.
On Monday. Yes.
Yes, on next Monday. And so, you see, all this stuff is going to come up. The day that, I don't know why I have this incorrectly, but the 20th, which is the day after the full moon is on the 19th. The day after is going to be a number 9. So that day is going to be when the full moon is at full power.
Yes.
9 week, 9 day, full moon in Scorpio. So whatever you don't want to see, and self-realization, 9 number change. So this is the day that it's gonna come up. And it's up to you.
Someone just said it, and I actually know this too. The full moon, this one is in Libra. This one is about balance. And so our Scorpio one is coming up, but you're feeling it because you must have some rising energy.
Yeah,
this is yeah, and I can see in your red too, but someone did just say, and I was going to say, you know what, this one is.
But the thing is, it's a Libra until this, but this is, you have to be very, very specific.
Specific, yeah, the day of.
The day and the percentage of the moon, how full it is. For example, it is a full moon in Libra, but a 99.1% on the 18th.
Yes.
When we turn over to the 19th, it's when it's 100% full moon in Scorpio.
In Scorpio, yes. That's
100%.
Exactly how my birthday is. On my birthday, at 4 in the morning when I was born, I'm Cancer, but by the afternoon, it's already changed to Leo.
Exactly.
So I'm a Cancer only in the morning, and then I'm a Leo in the afternoon.
So you're both.
Yeah, so I am both. So I want to share with you, when you were talking, I picked 2 cards, and you guys are not going to, and I was shuffling as you were talking. The first one we got is my number 2. So the Two of Swords. And I got this right when you said what you're not looking at.
Wow.
And so it really
I get
was
goosebumps.
it's really not what you're not looking at. And that's what the Two of Swords is saying. It's like having that blindfold on. And then this one is the surprise, because this one also was about what you were talking about. And it truly is that energy of the Lovers, of coming into ourselves. And this is a number 6. So 6 is, again, 3 times 2. And so it still breaks down to 2. So again, 2s are always following me around. But this 6, again, is about union. You can see that. That's what the Lovers is about. It's about really that union of mind, body, and spirit. That's why it's 6. Because at first, it's always, we see it first, and then we want it.
Yes.
Then it goes into the mind, and then I can't stop thinking about you. And then we go through some things with that person, and then it becomes a spiritual experience when we really go into a deeper relationship. And so the 6, the Lovers and tarot, is about really bringing all of that together. And that's what we are asking for in relationships. The thing is, we don't give ourselves a chance to get there. We jump into bed, then we want them to be in love with us, and then we want it to be instant marriage. We've got to get time to get to know each other, but first know ourselves, and that's part of our healing process. That's part of our healing.
And I feel, and because this is why, and to add to that, and this is why and it's interesting because it's on Monday, Tuesday, on Wednesday, tomorrow is going to be a number 6.
Yes.
So it's in Libra. And so the moon will be in Libra, and it will be 95.4% full. So it's technically a full moon in Libra tomorrow, technically. And so with the number 6 is also, and the type of numerology is the number of the mystic, because it includes our relationships when we go into the world. Like you said, the relationships that we have with others, it's based on ego, control, manipulation, neediness, a lack. The other person has to give me something. I'm incomplete. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel this. And so that's the whole story that we've been repeating over and over. That's the pattern, repeating over and over again. So the 6, it's funny that you said, because that's what we don't want to see. We don't want to go inside. We don't want to see, what am I bringing in? Where do I put in? Why do I keep repeating the same relationships? Because the relationships, let me tell you something. The partner changes, but who's the common denominator in all of them? It's you.
That's right.
So if something's not working, then it's up to us to see inside. And it has to do a lot, the 6 with the relationship with, like you said, I don't have to see to believe. It's a faith number. It's I believe, I believe, therefore I see. It's that connection to what you said. It's important. I have goosebumps. It's that connection to the divine, but it has to do with the relationship with yourself and your higher self. What does that look like? Because if that's disconnected, if that has been kind of blocked or replaced from an ego perspective, then all your relationships are going to show you where you're not at, that you're not connected. The moment that the Lovers is, I feel like it's going back to loving ourselves, and that's the 2, right? It's not denying, but loving yourself unconditionally, no matter what you think you are or how you judge ourselves. That relationship, first and foremost, is the most important one.
Absolutely.
And we have neglected that because we're focused on things outside of ourselves. And then the 2 and the 6 is amazing how everything connects, in preparation for what's coming.
Oh, yes.
And, it, again, these are tools that can help us see better. If there's something challenging that we don't want to see, I love that tarot card that you threw with the blind. Nobody blinds us. We blind ourselves because we're afraid.
That's right. And this is our judgment. I'm a student and a teacher of A Course in Miracles. And, someone just said, "Are you?"
No.
Oh my God. Yes.
I can't believe it.
Yes, for at least almost 10 years. Almost 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
So,
no. Mira, goosebumps again.
Oh, that's good.
I love
And
it.
And so that's why we recognize what judgment is. That's what this blindfold is. Judgment is us keeping ourselves from our truth and our divineness. When we judge another, we're truly judging ourselves. And that's why it's so hard for us to let go, because we're so busy, judging ourselves. We're never really judging anyone but ourselves. And so that's why I love A Course in Miracles and numerology and tarot and all of it too. And it sounds like your family's home, so you got to go make dinner now, huh?
Yeah, well, the little one got home. It's okay. Because I can talk about this all day. This nurtures my soul.
Yes.
My spirit. These conversations are necessary, and to keep having these dialogues with people like you, like me, whoever's interested, it's worthy of a dialogue. And let's talk about it, but not with the purposes of being entertained, but for the purposes of really wanting to find peace
And
amidst
to
the
heal.
chaos, and to heal, and to not want to feel. For example, I got to a point in my life, and this is how I got to the Course in Miracles. I got to a very, very intense period in my life where everything I knew, as I knew it, like my life, the house, the thing, went down. And I was like, completely, went down. And I was like, so what is this? What am I here for? What am I supposed, like, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Like, I'm done. I'm done suffering. I'm tired of suffering. It's not giving me anything but more suffering. I don't want more suffering. And then, and that started the whole process of going within. It's a process, but at least wanting, love yourself enough to just want to have peace inside, that people can tell you whatever you want, the world can crumble, and nothing moves you. You're like the palm tree, and that's amazing.
Yes.
And
that's today's lesson. It's lesson 106. Be still and listen to the truth. We be still and listen to the truth. The thing is, we listen to the noise, and that's why I love A Course in Miracles too. And I do mix it with my tarot, and I do mix it with all my Bruja stuff, because I listen through different channels. We all do. But A Course in Miracles reminds me of the truth. It teaches me that regardless, and I change all the words. I change it from Jesus and Christ and Father and all that. I change all that. But I know that there is some truth in there that I am meant to hear, that I am meant to understand, because it heals my mind from judging myself and others.
Oh,
and
yes.
when I was able to stop judging myself and others, I said, wait a minute, that is a whole nother level of healing that I have never experienced. And I have been a spiritual teacher and a licensed counselor, have done all this traveling and in all the psychic work all over the world, but I never got it until A Course in Miracles. And then I said, I've got to bring these things together, because it is all related. For me, it is intuitive intelligence. It's not just a book. It's intuitive intelligence. It teaches us to remember who we are. And that is the light.
That is the light.
That is the light.
Wow. And with that, I feel like, that's amazing. It's so incredible how I was drawn to you, because it's all energy.
I told
Look
you
at all this.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's crazy. It's amazing, because it's amazing. I'm listening to you speak, and it's like, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, they brought us together. All of us.
All of us. And this has been such a blessing having you here. I wish we could do it again in the near future.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it again.
And then we can talk about something else. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you for having me
here. And guys, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you want to have a question for her, you can DM her, DM me as well. And this has been an amazing experience with this wondrous spirit that I see in front of my eyes. I can feel your heart. I can feel your energy. And thank you for shedding light into the world and doing this work. We desperately need it. This world needs it. So thank you.
It is needed and necessary. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, beloved sister, for having me. There's our 22 again.
Yay!
So go be with your family. I'm going to go cook dinner and have a blessed evening.